you don't want yourself to be isolated. You just want someone to hear you. You just want to be heard. You just want to vent out whatever is going inside you. Unfortunately, I was having no one, and I said, okay, now this is done, and this okay is not okay. What is going inside me is okay, and I have to come out of it. If you will start changing yourself, you will definitely see changes nearby you as well.
So, hello and welcome to the special interaction we are having today with Ms. Kanchan Rai, who's a wellness coach. She creates an awareness about the mental well-being and helps people combat depression and mental trauma. So, given the times we are in this COVID-19 lockdown, a lot of people are going through tough times. So, let's ask her what are some of her experiences which might help us all to get out of these tough times. So, Kanchan, welcome to the interaction.
Thank you so much, Karthik, for having me here.
So, Kanchan, let me begin by asking now. You have endeavored this Let's Talk sort of an initiative which helps people combat depression and enhance their mental well-being. So, what led you into this? Have you been through?
And yes, of course, I myself have been through the same process, or I would say not the same process, but the journey which everyone is talking about these days. And very unfortunate part about my journey was like I was having no us to talk about it. And this is how I come up with an idea, like if I didn't had anyone to talk, at least someone else who is also going through the same thing should have someone to be heard or they can talk to. So this is how this whole concept of let us talk came in place.
Now, so what are some of the experiences that you have been through in that point of time? What was the environment? What was those dark times? I would not ask you to sort of open you what happened with you personally, but in a sense that what does depression and mental trauma leads to?
See, even if I have to tell a brief about myself, what I went through, and it is actually going to benefit someone out of it, I don't mind sharing it. But I understand, like, right now, everyone would be more interested in knowing how to come out of it rather than knowing through the whole journey and the whole process. So, yes, initially it was very different, very difficult. If I talk about, like, 10 to 12 years earlier, there was, if we talk about mental health, the only term which comes to our mind is like an asylum or a person who is mentally retarded, absolutely out of society, out of world, and socially boycotted. So yes, I didn't want to actually categorize myself into that segment of people, and this is why I tried to suppress what I was going through, what was storming inside me. Uh, but the hardest part was like going through such a turmoil and still trying to be okay, still trying to pretend to be okay was a very very tough journey. So once I started getting more into it, then I realized being into that phase is okay rather than hiding it and trying to pretend I am okay. That's a very wrong thing. And if we talk about the whole process, it's like you don't want yourself to be isolated. You just want someone to hear you. You just want to be heard. You just want to vent out whatever is going inside you. And if you are having someone who can actually be a pillar of strength during this particular time, half of your problems are done, half of your problems are sorted. So yes, if I talk about my journey, unfortunately I was having no one. Like, of course my family was there, but I was not able to show off like what I am going through. I went to take a medical help, like I went to see a psychiatrist. I was given n number of pills and I would sleep all the time, and if I'll wake up I'll keep on eating and I'll sleep again. So that was like a life which I had led for a good number of days, or I'll say months. But after certain period of time I realized like what I'm doing to myself. I'm not trying to figure out the root cause. I'm not trying to understand what is wrong with me. I'm just nurturing what is wrong with me. So this is the time, or I would say that is the time when I took hold of myself and I said, okay, now this is done and this okay is not okay. What is going inside me is okay, and I have to come out of it, and I have to show to the rest of the world like being into that phase is okay.
So what I can gather from your experience is that being in that phase, a lot of people do get into that phase. So a very important thing is that you must talk to people. You must share your experiences and help yourself to get out of the situation by sharing your situation with others. Is that what I?
Exactly, exactly. We always say sharing is caring, and in this particular case, sharing is the only care which you can take about yourself. I know I may sound a bit different, but it is very obvious. Like if I am not in a good phase and I meet a person who is also not in a good phase, we keep on sharing our thoughts. We know that like we won't be judged and we would understand each other what all we are going through. It's because my journey is similar to your journey, or your journey has been similar to my journey in the past as well. So we just try to learn out of it, and then the care which is shown with 2%, those who are already into the same phase, is really fantastic. Like if we talk to a person who has already gone through that thing, who has already experienced that thing, we can relate to the problems he or she must have gone through, or he or she can relate to the problems what we are going through. So in this case, I would definitely say sharing is always a caring part.
Now, your experience in given the times we are in becomes even more important for everybody because we are going through this pandemic and everybody is locked up at homes. People have lost their jobs. We have been seeing healthcare professionals, police, people from the police department going through depressions and mental trauma. What is your advice for all those people to get out of the situation?
See, the simple advice which I would give is like, most of it is past. Like we have already crossed lockdown one, lockdown two. We have already started lockdown, unlock one, unlock two. So we have to just keep on reminding ourselves like the biggest part is gone. Now it's just a very small thing which is yet to go. So if we'll focus on the part which is already done, or the phase which is already gone, we would always get a strength to compete or live the part, or the part which is still pending. So please don't give hope, because we have already fought so much of it and we have already given too much to it. Now is not the time to leave anything as it is. Now it's the time to just keep on holding it, and this is the actual time to hold it. It's because difficult part is already gone, as we say here in India. So it's just a matter of some time, until and unless we are until and unless we have cure with us, then obviously things will be in the normal phase. But how to hold during this particular time is the very important thing. So I'm sure like most of us, when we were in houses and we were not able to go out, or all the social connections were disconnected physically, we try to innovate something good out of it. Like we try to innovate it, something best out of it, like some hobbies, some family bonding, some cooking, or anything which is like never done before, which was always there in our bucket list to be done. And we made a very very good use of social media as well. Like the digital world has transformed the whole industries. Like working from home is altogether a new experience. So just try to focus on these things and try to keep hold on these skills, and I'm sure the journey will pass away.
Now, Kanchan, this is all the questions I asked you so far is what we should do if somebody or we ourselves are in depressions and mental trauma. Now, let me get on to the early stages of depression. Now, what is depression and how does one get into that? What are some of the things which lead into that?
See, there are so many causes of depression, to be honest enough, Karthik, because the situation where we are right now into the world, mental health has actually broadened, and the real meaning or the real definition of this word is actually to be, surface. We need to figure out what this word is. Like I have seen children of a very small age, like if they are not able to perform well, they would term it as I am depressed. This depressed is not at all a word for them. Word for them is like feeling sad. So first of all, we have to understand whether we are feeling sad, we are feeling low, or it is actually a depression. There are a few red flags which we can actually figure out to understand whether the feelings or the emotions which we are right now into is actually a depression, or is just a phase which every human has to pass through. Because uh, you know uh, if we don't feel good for good number of days, then definitely is a matter of concern, like why there is like the span of being me feeling sad or me feeling low is getting increased. But if I feel low for 1 day or 2 day and then again I'm okay, so I won't say that the person is depressed. It's because we are full of emotions. We being a human, we are tend to have emotions. And first and the foremost thing which we have to understand is like whether this is an emotion or this is an illness which I have to take care of. So please don't mix up the things with emotions and illness. First of all, try to figure out what is illness and what is emotion. And if you feel that there are certain things like unusual behavior pattern of food, unusual sleeping pattern, or feeling detached, not feeling motivated, having suicidal thoughts, these are a few causes which can actually, these are the few symptoms of depression. And these do arise when we are in the same phase for a very long time. Like, for if we are in the phase for 1 or 2 days, it's absolutely normal because we are bound to have emotions. So first of all, we need to figure out whether this is depression or this is not. And if you are not sure enough, please try to seek help, because there are so many professionals available who can actually help you to figure it out. If you are not ready to go to take a professional help, try to be part of a group which is already trying to create an awareness like us. Or I'm sure there are many other groups as well where they try to talk about the subject, talk about your feeling, talk about your emotions, and then with the help of fellow people, those who are also into the same process, you can figure out whether you are depressed or not. And if you feel that you are, please don't hesitate to take any kind of professional help for it, because these days people are really they feel shy to talk about their mental health. They don't feel like opening up. The first step for you to be mentally healthy is to open up.
Well said, Kanchan. And now you have been dealing with people from different walks of life. You've been dealing with people from Bollywood, from the music industry, and also, a lot of others from the spiritual world. And you must be coming across a lot of ideas, aren't you, as far as depression is concerned and mental well-being is concerned. Now, what are some of the common things which you observe in people who have been coming up with these problems, which perhaps our viewers can keep in mind?
The first thing which I always come across is like, the mental health has been related to one particular segment, which I always say, like, it is not at all the case. So I try to actually, we try to create an awareness, or we try to actually try to burst the myths which are revolving around this mental health, or the word which we call mental health. So first of all, I would definitely want to say mental health is not for one particular segment. It can be it can create a problem, or it can be an issue to anyone and any age. So please don't consider that I don't belong to this category, or I don't belong to this range of people, so I am safe. This is not at all a case. Second thing which I always come across is like women are more prone to get into mental health problems, which is also a very wrong thing, which is also a very big myth. We don't have to be a women to just understand that we are into a mental health problem. Even men do get into it, and there are so many examples of it as well. And I'm very glad that people come out and talk about their mental trauma being a man as well. So we have to understand that thing as well. And a third thing which is very important is like people, they just misunderstand what is happening to them. Instead of understanding, or instead of getting a deep understanding of what is happening to them, they just come to a conclusion, which is very wrong. So we have a program where, or I'll say we have a whole bunch of questions which we give to a person who is coming to us, to understand actually if they have something which is very serious, or which can be treated with some therapies, or some talking, or some venting out. So you have to be very clear about what phase you are into, and until and unless you won't sort it out, it will be very difficult for you and a person who is with you to figure out the whole process, for you to take into a lighter zone from a darker zone. So these 3 points, or these 4 points, are extremely important for anyone.
And Kanchan, even apart from that, if I might add to it, and also a lot of factors which contribute to such a state of mind is external sort of environment, the problems one is having in family and workplace and these kind of things. So what are the ways to have a positive atmosphere around and a positive mental well-being?
I always believe in one phrase, which is like, if you be the change what you want to be, or what you want to see. So if you will start changing yourself, you will definitely see changes nearby you as well. So if I don't want to get impact with the negativity which I am surrounded with, first thing which I'll do is I'll try to be positive. I'm sure this may sound insane to many people, because we can't be positive all the time, thinking of the situation we are in right now into, or the surroundings we are right now into. It will be very difficult for anyone to maintain that flag having I am positive, but trust me, it is not that difficult as well. First of all, you have to think about yourself before worrying about someone else. So if a person around it or you are surrounded with is not positive, but you should not be worried about it. You should be worried about yourself. If I'll be positive, that is going to impact me. So try to think that this thing very very clear in your head, that whatever I am surrounded with is going to impact me, and whatever I am is going to impact my surroundings as well. So this moment, like this particular thing, if you talk to yourself about me being positive in a negative atmosphere, is definitely going to help. And changes start with a small things as well. So if you will be positive about yourself, definitely a person who is seeing you or is observing you, you might not know about it, and they would feel some kind of changes which are very positive, which are very happy. They may try to adapt it from you. So this becomes a whole chain. So if you will start changing yourself, definitely things around you would change. So of course, like as I said earlier as well, it is not it is not possible for anyone to be happy all the time or to be positive all the time. So first of all, try to be happy as much as you can. Secondly, don't push yourself to be happy. Like as I said, try to remain positive. So please don't push yourself. Okay, I have to be positive, I have to be positive, even if something is getting wrong, I have to be positive. Don't push yourself. The more you will push, the more positivity is going to be away from you. So go, take it in a natural way. Whatever you are having, whatever you are feeling, please accept it as it is. Don't push yourself. Don't push your emotions. Don't push your mindset to accept or adapt into a situation which is not a very regular or not a very natural thing. So once you start being natural to yourself, you are obviously to bound to be a positive person. And once you start being a positive person, try to get habituate of it. So once you will start loving being a happy person, I'm sure the things surrounding you are or the surrounding you are into will impact you, but you will go with your own flow. It's not that simple, but I am sure, and I'm very self experienced as well, this is not difficult too.
Try to be positive is what we can take away from this.
Yeah.
Kanchan, one last thing. How if somebody is going through this and somebody wants to get associated with the endeavor you have sort of made, how to get connected with you? Let us talk. I should put it this way.
See, if you have to really want to vent out something, Let Us Talk is always there. So we are present on each and every social media. You can just give a single message and we'll be there. My team will be there. And second thing, we have a WhatsApp number which is 24 into 7 available, and that number is never left alone. You may just drop a message and you'll get reply ASAP. I can assure you that. And there are number mentions on our website as well. You can give us a call, or if you don't want to, there are people, uh, they don't want to come up with their own identity, or if they for some reason they want to hide their identity as well. So we have provision for that as well. So it's absolutely up to you. But be rest assured, if you want to be heard, us, or I would say Let Us Talk is always there.
On that note, Kanchan, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing
Same
your
here.
views with our viewers. I definitely
Absolutely pleasure, Karthik. Thank you so much for having me here.
thank you.